Hey guys, Ramsey here. Welcome to another video. Tonight we have a late night insight, quick hit video on a fragrance that, this is going to be a fast video actually before I say anything else, mostly because there's very little to say about this fragrance. I will tell you right out of the gate that this fragrance is called by me and my circle of fragrance lovers, Oud for Grimness instead of Oud for Greatness, but it is Initio's Oud for Greatness. And as you can see, I have secured myself a 15 ml decant. This is about 3 years old. Interestingly enough, by the way, just a little side note, and as you can see, I'm away from home, so I don't have all of my fragrances to grab and show you here. I've got a night on the road, and then I'll be back tomorrow. Basically, I thought I would just do this fragrance because I made the utter mistake, the sheer terror of wearing this as my scent of the day. The things I do for you guys, I swear to God, it is, I deserve some sort of a medal, you know, like I should be honored by the government for having to wear this all day, and I drove. So there is an enclosed smell of Oud for Greatness stuck in the rental car, probably for all eternity after this drive. So, Oud for Greatness. Let's give you some facts first to those who have been sleeping under a rock, to those who have no clue, who just woke up after a long slumber and or newer to the fragrance game. What is Oud for Greatness, and why does it make me so angry? So first of all, I will read you sort of the official branding, okay? And I don't know if you can see, but that's sort of what the bottle and box look like for those of you who are, again, unable to look it up yourself. But Oud for Greatness, 90 mils, $410. They've put their prices up because I watched a Steven by Red Adolescence video on Oud for Greatness, which if you want to chuckle, go watch that video. He gave a lower price when this first came out, so they've already put their prices up, number one. And here's the blurb. Oud for Greatness breathes out a force of nature, the wake of greatness, the natural essence of oud wood. The natural essence of oud wood has been perfected to this pitch, handled with majesty and brutality. Well, there is a lot of truth to that statement. That is actually what it says. Handled with majesty, parentheses, and brutality. And yes, this is a brutal fragrance. In this bold formula, scarcely highlighted by patchouli and musk, superbly textured, strikingly natural, Oud has been handled by the creator in a register that is astonishingly fresh, lavender, parentheses, and spicy, nutmeg and saffron, and enchanting, thrilling perfume that makes all our dreams of greatness possible. Okay, so there are 1,001 fragrance reviews of this fragrance on the internet, and reason being, Initio, who is Parfums de Marly's sister house, by the way. You know what's funny is over the last maybe 5 or 6 or 10 years or so, I've learned that sometimes, like, if you Google something and whatever the true answer is, it's whatever the opposite of whatever the internet tells you is. So like you can test it out with some interesting theories of things you know to be true that the internet tries to lie to you about. But Initio and Parfums de Marly do have some sort of connection. They are sister houses. They do not like that being said, but it's true. You know, somebody left a comment recently and basically absolutely nailed my hatred for this fragrance and this house. And they said, you know, the perfumers who are making these fragrances for Initio and Parfums de Marly, I honestly think that they could do better if they were given better briefs. I blame the brand, and I 100% agree with that. And he also said something that I feel like I should pass along because it's the damnedest truth. So there is a note in Oud for Greatness called Amber Woods, and Amber Woods are hated by many. There's a comment that basically said, get your amberwood hating torches out and let's march straight to Initio headquarters. And it's true. There are many in the fragrance community that hate amberwoods. However, I think it's all about execution, because if you take a house like Frederick Mall, look at the Desert Gem series there. There are amberwoods in the Moon, there are amberwoods in Promise, and I love those fragrances. And I think that they have executed the style of amberwoods in those type of perfumes to perfection, let's say, as well as they can be done. They are done in those type of fragrances. But then you take something like this, and if you want me to tell you what this smells like in a nutshell, since I said this would not be a long review, I'm just gonna put my thoughts out there into the Fragcom. So I actually have a fragrance by Lattafa. I have a couple fragrances by Lattafa, believe it or not. And so Lattafa, and they deserve their credit, because Lattafa does fragrances that smell very, very similar to Oud for Greatness, but they sell their fragrances for $20, $30, $40, okay? And I would almost say that I would give more props, and this is what my friend Andy said in a comment recently, and I 100% agree with him. I give more credit to somebody like Lattafa or Armaf or something like that, who can make a fragrance that smells like this, and they do. And that's another reason why I think Oud for Greatness really shows its true colors, that it's so easily cloned. Okay, if it's using all of this high essence oud wood materials, which I don't know if there's real oud in here or not, and I'm definitely not going to say there's not and let Initio's lawyers come send me some sort of a cease and desist letter or anything like that. I'm not that stupid. But I will say that it doesn't smell, to me, to my nose, it doesn't smell like there's real oud in here. It smells like there's a huge yawning amber wood note, one of the biggest amber wood notes I've ever smelled in my life. And but I have a couple Lattafas, and one of those Lattafas is called Anna Abied Rouge, and it's discontinued according to Parfumo. Interestingly enough, if you go to Parfumo and you look up Oud for Greatness, it says Oud for Greatness is discontinued. So I don't know what the hell, I don't know if Parfumo just blew a gasket or what, but they say both of those fragrances are discontinued. Lattafa does discontinue stuff occasionally, but Anna Abied Rouge is a clone. And it's a clone of Baccarat Rouge 540. Now, there's another fragrance that is very easily cloned that sells for a lot of money. And that is really the dream of some of these houses, you know. The dream of some of these houses is to create a fragrance that is so cheap to make, but sells for $400 or $500. You know, MFK, Maison Francis Kirkjohn, realized the dream with Baccarat Rouge 540, because that is a shit ton of ethyl maltol and sweet notes and saffron overdose. And that is the reason why I'm mentioning this when it comes to Oud for Greatness, because the #1 note in Oud for Greatness, to my nose, is saffron. The #2 note is amberwoods. Those are the two main accords that you get. So just imagine this ethyl maltol sweet, Lattafa style, you know, Baccarat Rouge clone smell. And then imagine this Western oud note that, you know, the likes of Tom Ford, Versace, Pour Homme Oud Noir, those level of oud notes, okay? And some increased cedar woodiness. So imagine Baccarat Rouge 540, but slightly woodier and darker is sort of the smell. But not just Baccarat Rouge 540, Lattafa's version of Baccarat Rouge 540, and that's the smell of Oud for Greatness. It smells like a bad $10 clone from Armaf, okay? Or Ardal Zafran or something like that. That's what it smells like to me. It smells like a very poorly executed clone that went bad. The perfumer is like maybe first day on the job and he has no clue what the hell he's doing. Then they were like, here, play with this, and you know, he built it, and they were like, well, you know, it's your first day, so to commemorate it, hell, we'll just put this out and just to make you happy. And so the fact that this is the fragrance that so got hyped really says something about the fragrance community. Well, first of all, what happened was Initio sent out a ton of free bottles, okay? So you have some reviewer holding a $410 bottle telling you that this is the greatest oud in the game. And I'm just over here going, it is absolutely nowhere near the greatest oud in the game. Maybe the greatest amberwood fragrance in the game. If I did a ranked amberwood fragrance video where I ranked the most synthetic smelling amberwoods #1, then this wins. This absolutely wins in my opinion. I don't think I've smelled a more synthetic, poorly done amberwood note. And you know, somebody asked me, what is so offensive in Oud for Greatness for you, Ramsey? It just smells like sort of this nice, sweet thing. And you know, if you flew down from Mars and you had absolutely no experience with fragrance history and you smelled this, I would agree with you. I would say, okay, fine, give you your due. If you just smell this in a bubble and you know nothing else about what was going on in the fragrance world, fine, I'll give you that. It does just have this sort of designer, you know, Baccarat Rouge sweet thing that most people like to smell. People wear those type of fragrances when they have more money than style or more money than sense, in my opinion. And I smell it everywhere. It absolutely disgusts me. I despise Baccarat Rouge 540. And one of my most hated smells. And but this is not being reviewed in a vacuum, okay? This is 2023, and this came out in 2018, by the way. And so imagine being a niche house, and a $400 niche house, a house where this kind of money, you're supposed to be leading the way. You're supposed to be like the vanguard of the pinnacle of, you know, somebody who is innovative and takes chances and does different things. And instead, imagine taking a note that Michael Edwards claims was first used in Western perfumery in Balenciaga Pour Homme. There's a speech on the internet he gave about that, by the way. I don't know where his sources are, but Michael Edwards claims there is oud in Balenciaga Pour Homme. But even scratch that, forget about that conversation for a second. And let's say you go back to YSL's M7 from 2002, and then you go to Tom Ford's Oud Wood from 2007, and then you go to, you know, all of these oud craze that happened in 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and you get to 18, right? And Initio said, I've got a great idea. Let's take the most popular fragrance of the last decade in Baccarat Rouge 540 and blend it with the most popular note, which is Western oud, in the last 10 or 20 years. And let's sell it for $410. And the guys at Initio went, God damn, Bob, you're a genius. Let's go have some beers. Let's go have some brewskis. And they basically created this. And this fragrance to me, okay, this is what this fragrance is good for. Scour your favorite YouTube reviewer and see if they have a video on Oud for Greatness. And if they hype this, instantly unsubscribe. That's what you do. This is what Initio's Oud for Greatness is used for. It is a tool. It is a tool to out the shills. Anyone that hypes this, immediately unsubscribe. Absolutely unsubscribe. Do not subscribe to their channels if they hype this. This is, in my opinion, this is absolute trash. Initio is going to have to make a hashtag for me when I'm done bashing this. It's going to be hashtag Initio Nightmare with the ram symbol after it. Because, you know, it really does offend me, honestly. The brand offends me. I really do not like Initio. You know, and I also really don't like Parfum de Marly, but for some reason, I hate Parfum de Marly just a little bit less than Initio. And Parfum de Marly has a fragrance called Haltane. Haltane? Something like that. Haltane. And rumor is, someone left me a comment and said, now this is them speaking in the comment, not me, but they said that they cloned their own fragrance from Initio in Haltane and sold it as like a Harrods exclusive for like $400 or something insane. It basically smells like Oud for Greatness. So that's my problem with the house. Obviously, the smell, the sweetness, the designer ethyl maltol Baccarat Rouge 540 thing, which just grates on me like nails on a chalkboard. It's just, and I had to wear it all day in the car today. It was just like banging against my temple all day. And this is a heavy, heavy fragrance. One thing I will say about the House of Initio, if you're like some sort of a projection bro, like if you're someone who never leaves any comments on my channel, and then your very first comment is, what's the projection and sillage like, then maybe this house is for you. So if the first thing that pops into your head when we start talking about fragrances is, how long does it last and what's the projection and sillage, then maybe you're an Initio bro. Because their fragrances, the amberwood notes just go on and on and on. You can smell them for, if this gets on your clothes, you'll smell it for days, weeks. It is just, and it's not a good smell, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you. Try smelling some of like the Chanel Les Exclusives and how posh and everything they smell. And they're priced very similarly. And then go smell this. And you're just like, oh God. It hurts. It really hurts the noggin. So, Initio Oud for Greatness. This review is necessary because for every one review like this that I'm doing, there's probably 25 reviews of 5 reasons why you should buy Initio Oud for Greatness, and best oud in the game, and it grates on me. It really does. So I really don't have very much else to say about Initio Oud for Greatness other than I will never be wearing this again. I will save my little decant because I do these things where I like to save them, because inevitably somebody 2 years in the future will come along and say, how was the nutmeg note in that? And then I can go pull this out and spray the damn thing and say, I can't smell any nutmeg because it's being completely drowned by the amber woods. But yes, Initio Oud for Grimness. That is my review. That is my take. I stand by that on both feet. Anyone wants to debate or challenge the merits of what I have had to say, do leave a comment below. I hope you enjoy these negative reviews because honestly, I enjoy making them. There's something in me that says, continue on, continue doing, what you're doing, Ram, because there's very few people out there who are doing it. And I really do feel like I'm doing a much needed service to the community, because you'd be surprised how many people left a comment on my rehab video and said, hey, I'm new to the community. I just want to say thank you for telling me what you told me. And that feels good to me. That really does feel good. And for some of us who have been in the community for a long time, some of this seems commonsensical. It seems like, duh, obviously you wouldn't buy this crap. But there are people that get drawn in by that stuff all the time. And the reason that the brands do it, the reason the brands send out those free bottles, is the return on investment for a bottle that costs them $30 to make, or $50 to make, or $40 to make, or whatever it is, and they send one bottle out to a reviewer who does a video and it gets 86,000 views. Yes, there are some Oud for Greatness videos that have almost 100,000 eyeballs views on that video. And just imagine if 2%, 1% of those people went out and spent $400 on a bottle. They are just laughing all the way to the bank. And so there needs to be an offsetting force, For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? And I am that opposite reaction as far as I'm concerned. There needs to be more people like me who speak their mind, honestly. And you notice I'm not holding a full bottle, I'm holding a decant. No way would I hold a full bottle of Oud for Greatness, because I would have to buy it with my own money, and there's no way in hell I would ever buy an Initio fragrance. I do have one more, or two more Initio reviews that I can do. One is called Blessed Baraka. I've got a sample of that. The other is called Absolute Aphrodisiac, and it is absolutely atrocious. That's going to be another one that is just, that baby vomit vanilla thing in that fragrance makes me want to hurl. It's absolutely horrendous. It's like the worst version of Yop Homme you could ever imagine. It's like a warm milk version of Yop Homme. It's just disgusting. So more negative reviews to come, don't worry. don't worry, I will not run out of negative reviews. One of my subscribers just sent me some Mancera samples, so negative reviews galore. So as much as I really feel like I should be out here talking about the things that I love, I also feel like these reviews are necessary. And I assume that this is the type of video that will draw more people to my channel who normally are not here. You know, if someone looking for Ood for Greatness stumbles across this video and they have no clue who I am, well, good luck to them. But I think it's a good intro. It's a good ritual into being brought into the community. You know, they need something like this. You know, it's like when a new kid comes in the NFL, they need one of the elder statesmen to sort of take them under their wing and tell them who to look out for. Like, hey, don't go to the club with that guy, Johnny. Stay away from him. You know, don't go to these spots after midnight. You know, they need somebody like that. And that's sort of what I feel the role that I'm taking here is. It seems common sense to many people who watch this video, but you might be surprised how many people fall into that trap. So that's my review. Let me know what you think of Ood for Grimness. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You know, if you want more negative reviews, send me more Initios. You know, outside of the ones I mentioned, I'll talk about anything on the channel. Honestly, that's my plug. Is I will go everywhere. I will go designer, I'll go niche, I'll go vintage, I'll go modern, I'll go cheap, I'll go expensive, anything that is a fragrance, I will discuss on the channel. And sometimes that throws some people off, but for me, it gives me a very broad depth of knowledge. You know, I'm able to talk about things that the people who only collect the high-end, you know, niche don't know about, the vintages. And the people who only discuss vintages, they don't know what Roja and MFK and all those folks are doing. So I kind of go everywhere. And so while I may not go as deep as some people, my breadth, the width of knowledge that I think I've been able to get my nose on many fragrances, it serves me well in situations like this, I can tell you that. So I hope the sound quality is okay, coming to you live from the hotel. And but we'll be back in the full swing of things in a day or two, more videos to come. So I appreciate everyone's support. Have a great evening. Do leave a comment. Let me know what you think of Ood for Greatness. Let me know what you think of the brand Initio. If you think I'm barking up the right tree, or if you think I'm being just a little too harsh on the buggers. So cheers, guys. Have a good evening. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.